Hello AP2 students or portfolio students. I'm going to show you how to construct a PowerPoint portfolio, how to set the images up and the text. So this is a student report, and this is partly a student report as well. And a lot of times students will do this where they're thinking about this as a presentation. It's not a presentation. A portfolio is very different. Okay. So when you have a portfolio, what you want to do is keep it really, really simple. And I'm going to insert a photo here. And I'm going to go to my Etsy files for stuff I'm going to put on Etsy. Now, it's a good idea to have all your photos pre-selected, have all your photos you're going to put into your PowerPoint already in a folder. Doesn't always happen that way. People get busy, but that's optimal. So I'm going to put this one in. Oh, it's taking a minute. Oh, it's on the iCloud drive. Okay, so that's the image I have of this plate. Now I'm going to scoot it over to the edge on the left. Okay, then I'm going to put in, and a lot of times what I just do is I just cut and paste a text box from another source, so then they look the same and I know the formatting's right. Now, one of the things they did wrong was to put this in bold. This should not be bold. So get rid of that. And you don't need quotes and italics, you just need one or the other. So this one would be flower. Okay, so that's italicized. And then the year, again, that doesn't need italicized to be italicized, or excuse me, it doesn't need to be bold. I'm going to get these all into uniform sizes. Let me see, let's go back to 18 point. It's going to vary what point you want it, but you do want it to show up. And I like to use Times New Roman. You can use Arial or some of the other plainer fonts. Again, the focus is on the image. It's not on the text. It's not on anything else. Okay, so you keep it really simple. So I'm going to scoot this down. Now I'm going to get rid of all this. The first ingredient, the first listing of materials should be the biggest. There's a little bit of black engobe on there. If it is, like in this case is ceramic, if this is for a ceramic show, or you're submitting it for a ceramic grad school, then you're going to say what temperature you fired it to, and you probably put more detail. But you don't need all that. You can just say ceramic if it is a non-ceramic school, if that makes sense. So I'm going to say it's 10 by 10 by 2 inches. Okay, so the student had that somewhat correct, but not totally. Then you can move this box down. So it's going to be the title of the piece. It's going to be the year. That was actually made in this year. Then it's going to be materials. Then it's going to be dimensions. You can also do, if this is for a real portfolio, you can say number 1, so they know. A lot of times, back in the day, they would ask for a slide sheet, a list of what was on the actual slides, meaning 35 millimeter transparencies, and then they'd have a numbered sheet that you'd go back and refer to. And I did actually this year, 2020, I did get asked for one of those. So it's interesting, old school. But see how super simple this is? A photograph with good lighting, cropped to the edge, it's a little too cropped. And then the text is minimal over here. Okay? So in the case of something like this, if you did turn this in, and that's a nice quote, the images are too small, right? And then I don't want this background. So what I'm going to do is go solid fill, and then you have to select white. I already selected it. So, and then background graphics, that's going to get rid of the floor and the wall. And then you'll have these pots. Okay. The other thing I'm going to ask you to do, if this were yours, go big. Now this has a sort of centering device. See if this will work. Now I gotta move it over manually. I'm using my arrow key. Okay. I don't have any information on these, which is not great. But we're just trying to represent her. Just try to make this look somewhat straight and normal. Something still looks screwy on here. Okay, but that's a nice quote, so that part is fine. This may or may not show up. Sometimes it does. Let's see. Let's look at our slide. Okay. All right. When we go into the images of the person, that's fine too. Same thing, they should be bigger, right? Even though the screen's going to project it pretty big, we want to be able to see it. So this one, we're going to, sorry, get down to here. Okay. Hide background graphics, solid fill, white. Okay. We're going to apply it now. Watch what happens over here. Apply to all. And then we're going to get to a much more simplistic looking piece. So this is what I cut and pasted from, if you remember, and we're going to correct this a little bit. So that's a lot of, I would just put it as interior manganese glaze, stoneware, layered white porcelain slips. Not that you would put any of the verbiage in there. Okay, then you would go by, let's see, it says centimeters and inches. I would just say, because you have to give 3 dimensions, it's a 3-dimensional work. So this says 6 and 9/10 inches. That's really specific. You could just say 7 by, if that's 7 inches high. And don't put inches there, just put by. 7 by, let's say, 4 by 3 inches. So spell that out. And again, no bold. Get rid of that. I think it's our body, that it's our text that we're using. So there isn't any bold in here. You click it once. Get rid of this quotation. It's not even really a quotation. Okay. So this would be a title too. So go ahead and capitalize that. Spherical, volume, and oval lip. Okay. So if that's the title, there's a subtitle. Sometimes it has that, sometimes it doesn't. That's kind of unusual. Okay, the other thing with this is get all the images all the way to the far left. That's just the standard. I don't know why. If you see something else, you're welcome to tell me. So the background and history is here. This could be a little bigger. The good thing on this, each one of these, backing up, each one of these images should be the entire length of the width of the slide. Now, don't pull from here because you're going to distort it. You always pull. I'm going to undo that to fix it. You always pull from the edge so it keeps the aspect ratio. Okay? So it's not going to distort it. It'll just make it bigger. Okay, so the good thing about this student was that they put all of the sources on the back. It should have more detail, but at least that's on there. Okay?